Luby Ismail, and Luby has a company that basically she grew up, she was born in Egypt and grew up Muslim. And so her job is to try to connect people from different religions and cultures and to, teach cultural sensitivity. So she ends up doing things like teaching people on Broadway who are going to go to the Middle East, you don't hug women if you're a man, and, these sort of cultural cues. But she herself has had a very tough course of MS. And this is actually what she spoke about just before we came on. So this is hot off the presses. She talks about her AAA. So I'm stealing it. I'm giving her credit, but I'm totally stealing her AAA, which is, the first thing you have to do is accept that, it means that you might not be able to have all of the same goals that you had if you have some pulmonary involvement. Maybe you're not going to be running those marathons, but that doesn't mean you can't be involved in other aspects of competition and, other types of engagement that you can do. So you have to accept that this is life under altered circumstances. Once you accept that, that you can't, it's partly accepting that I have this, that I can't change my circumstances. You try to get it treated, you try to make sure you're getting the best treatment possible, including the depression. But what you can change is your attitude and how you sort of approach it. So once you accept it and say, okay, now what am I going to do? And I've seen these illnesses make people much more compassionate. They spend more time with their kids. They become better human beings, quite honestly, in some ways. I wouldn't wish any of these on my worst enemies, but a lot of my patients will tell me they were the worst things that happened to them and the best things that happened to them. So it's not all a curse, and it just depends on how well you're able to sort of muster yourself and your friends. So once you accept it, you then can adapt and then achieve. And achievement really means finding what your purpose and your passion is at this point. I think about the art of connecting. You have to forgive yourself. A lot of times there's this thought of, what did I do? Maybe I waited a long time to get seen by a doctor, or, what have you. There's nothing you did. These are just like somebody up there is rolling the dice and it just came out bad for you. We all have something that we're gonna have to go through. And so you have to kind of forgive yourself for whatever you're blaming yourself for. That connects us to ourselves. You have to, think about gratitude. In fact, there are positive psychology studies that have shown if you just think about one thing before you go to bed that you're grateful for that day, and you randomize people to that exercise versus just, reading about health or those kinds of things, though just thinking about what you're grateful for tends to keep people's moods better over time and have a positive impact. And having the belief that your life has a purpose turns out to be associated with much better health outcomes. You're 3 times less likely to die over the age of 50 if you have a purpose in life. That doesn't mean that, Sean has to, decide, yes, this is a good purpose in life. It just means you have to have your own belief that your life has a purpose. And that purpose has to involve things that you care about, things that you're passionate about, and that connects you to other people.